Imagine you run a busy customer service desk where messages keep coming in, cases need updates, and customers are waiting, while the answers they need are buried in old notes nobody has time to dig through. A copilot handles direct questions when someone walks up and asks, but an autonomous agent is different AU. It has a specific job, watches for work that needs doing, and takes action on its own within the rules you give it. I'm Mirko Peters from M365 FM. This knowledge nugget explains the idea in plain English. By the end, you'll know what Dynamics 365 autonomous agents actually do, where they work, and why people still stay in charge of the important decisions. Think of a business like an office building. Copilot works at the front desk, helping visitors who walk up and ask, while agents handle the jobs that happen behind the scenes. The simple definition: a digital team member with a narrow job. Repeat work eats up a lot of time in most companies. A sales rep sorts incoming leads, a service rep fills in the same case fields, an accountant matches records before the books close, and a supply chain worker chases a supplier for a delivery date, even though the purchase order already has most of the details. Each task looks small on its own, but the pile grows fast. So what exactly is an autonomous agent? It's a specialized AI tool that reviews business data, picks from allowed next steps, and carries out work toward a defined goal. It doesn't get a vague instruction like run the company AO. It gets a narrow job with clear boundaries, and that narrow focus is the whole point. Imagine the office building again. Copilot sits at the reception desk. You walk up and ask for help, and Copilot answers your question, finds information, or helps you write something. Autonomous agents work in the rooms behind reception OO. One might handle the mailroom sorting incoming requests, another works the service desk keeping cases up to date, and a third sits in the accounts office helping staff match financial records. Many people hear agent and think of a chatbot. A chatbot waits for you to type a question and then replies, "Oh, useful for a conversation," but it's just talking. An autonomous agent can react when something changes. When a new case arrives, a customer sends another message, or an order needs confirmation, the agent reviews the situation and continues the process without someone prompting every single step. That's the real difference. Old-style automation handles repeat work too, but follows a fixed path. If this happens, do that. If a field has this value, send that email. Fixed flows still work when everything stays predictable. An agent adds context. It reads the words in a customer message, looks at the connected record, and chooses between actions its rules allow. It isn't blindly following a rigid list RU, it's working with the information right in front of it. Generative AI helps with the language part. It can read a long message, identify what the person needs, write a draft response, or pull a useful answer from your knowledge base. But writing text alone doesn't complete a business task. Autonomous behavior connects that understanding to action. For example, the agent might identify a common support request, suggest the right knowledge article, update a case field, or ask a person to review something outside its rules. Your business decides which of those actions it can take on its own. And this part often gets missed. An autonomous agent doesn't have free access to everything. Your organization sets its instructions, data access, permissions, and approval points, and the agent works inside that defined space AO, like a new team member who can enter certain rooms, use certain files, and complete certain kinds of work. So it's not magic or a general-purpose robot. It's an AI worker with a narrow job, a set of rules, and real business data to work from. Next, let's look at the office where those agents find that information. That's Dynamics 365. Where they work, Dynamics 365 as the business office. So where do these agents get the specific details they need to turn a general answer into something useful for your business? That Thames Dynamics 365. Think of it as the business office itself, with connected rooms for customer records, sales leads, support cases, orders, money, and supply work. A customer record tells you who someone is and what they them for bought. A case shows past conversations, fixes, and who owns the next step. An order reveals what was promised, where it should go, and whether anyone still needs to confirm. That context is what changes the answer. A generic AI tool hears the sentence, "Oh, me delivery still has no time arrived." But it has no clue which delivery you mean, whether the order shipped, or if there are items an open case. Dynamics 365 holds all those business facts in one place. Here items a real scenario. A customer sends a message asking where their order is, and that message enters a support conversation or becomes part of a case. But the message alone tells only half the story. The agent looks at the customer record connected to that message and sees if this person contacted support yesterday, if a colleague already replied, what product they ordered, and which knowledge article covers late deliveries. Then it suggests the next step or carries out an action the organization allows. Maybe it points the service rep to the right answer, updates the case with a summary, or prepares a reply for review. The exact job depends on how the company configured the agent. But here comes the thing. The agent does not work in a vacuum. It works with the record in front of it, the knowledge it can access, and the permissions attached to its role. When it lacks information, reaches a sensitive decision, or needs approval, a person steps in. People still handle the difficult cases, like a customer disputing a charge, a shipment involving a serious failure, or someone asking for an exception to policy. Those situations need judgment, authority, and a conversation no agent should complete alone. Behind the scenes, the path is fairly simple. Information comes in, the agent reviews the relevant business record, and approved knowledge takes, suggests, or routes the next action, and the result goes back into the same record. That way the team can see what happened without hunting across separate tools. That record matters more than it sounds. Without it, a service rep might read a customer email in one place, search order details in another, check old notes somewhere else, and then type the same update into a case. Dynamics 365 brings those work areas together so the agent uses the same context as the people on the team. Generic AI knows how language works, but a Dynamics 365 agent uses language while looking at the actual business situation connected to that customer, order, lead, or case. It does not just read the question. It connects the question to the work already happening around it within the access and rules the organization sets. That UTM is where these agents become easier to picture, especially in customer service, where incoming questions, case updates, and shared knowledge all meet in one place. Service agents, finding intent, managing cases, keeping knowledge. Current customer service gives us the clearest view of what autonomous agents can do. Support teams deal with the same pattern every day. Our lots of conversations, lots of small updates, and useful answers trapped inside work people finished weeks ago. Let's start with the customer intent agent. An intent is the reason a customer contacts you, like "I can automate sign in," where's my order? I need to return this item. Support teams need to know these reasons because they shape the help articles, self-service options, and training their people need. But customer questions don't know to stay still. A company launches a new product, changes a delivery partner, or updates a billing process, and then customers start asking new questions in their own words. The old list of topics no longer fits. The customer intent agent looks through past and current cases and customer conversations to find those patterns. Instead of a manager reading hundreds of chats by hand, the agent spots that many people mention the same problem and suggests a new intent for that topic. That helps keep self-service from going stale by recommending the knowledge article most likely to help with a customer automation issue. That recommendation can support a customer trying to solve a problem alone, or it can help a service rep find the right answer faster during a conversation. The agent does not invent company policy, or it works with the knowledge the company approves while helping the team see where that knowledge needs work. Now think about the case itself. The work record for a customer problem that includes the customer TM PRS message, notes from service reps, the current status, and the steps taken to solve it. Creating and updating those records takes time, especially when a team handles a high volume of requests. The case management agent in Dynamics 365 customer service helps with the case life cycle, creating cases, updating them, moving them toward resolution, following up, and closing them. A service rep spends less time filling in routine details and more time reading the customer outcome situation carefully. Every support team works differently. One company wants a case closed only after a customer confirms, another needs a manager to review cases above a certain level, and some cases need a specific follow-up after a set period. Administrators shape the case management agent around those local rules, so it follows the company TME's process rather than a generic path. It handles repeat steps, but the organization decides when a person needs to check the work or take control. There attempts another problem in service that many teams know well. A skilled support rep solves a tricky issue, writes useful notes, and closes the case. Later, another customer reports the same problem, but the answer sits buried in old case notes, a chat transcript, or a summary that nobody thinks to search. That temats where the customer knowledge management agent comes in. It examines completed case details to pull useful knowledge, find gaps, and keep knowledge current while checking for the company as compliance needs. Think of a support team TMS as old case notes, like loose papers spread across many drawers. Someone may have written the perfect answer 6 months ago, but it will now help the next customer if nobody can find it. The knowledge agent helps turn repeat answers into material the team can review and place in a shared knowledge folder. People still review what becomes official guidance because a case note can describe a one-time exception, an outdated workaround, or advice that only fit one customer. The agent helps surface the material, but people decide what should become a trusted article. Here as a real example. A customer writes, "Omi delivery is late again. Can you tell me what item's happening?" The customer intent agent recognizes that this belongs to a delivery-related topic and points toward the right knowledge article. If the request needs a case, the case management agent helps capture the details, update the record, and support the next steps under the team TM's rules. After the issue closes, the customer knowledge management agent reviews the case for information that may improve the help content later. If the late delivery came from a new problem many customers now report, a person investigates, approves a new article, or speaks directly with the customer. The agents reduce the repeat admin work around the case, while the service team handles the judgment calls. Service agents focus on customer questions and shared answers. In other parts of the business, agents take on different jobs, from sorting sales leads to checking financial records and following up with suppliers. Sales, finance, and supply chain, agents with different desks. Customer service is only one part of the picture. Actually, you'll find the same pattern everywhere. Sales teams, finance teams, purchasing teams, dispatchers all have work that follows a routine where the details change from one record to the next, but the shape stays the same. So let's start with sales. Imagine a salesperson receives a large number of inbound leads. Some people are ready to talk, others are just looking around, and a few may not fit the company at all. Here's the issue. Someone still needs to research each one and decide who deserves attention first. That's where the sales qualification agent for Dynamics 365 sales steps in. Now it helps with that early sorting work. This agent can research and prioritize inbound leads, then develop personalized sales emails to start a conversation. But here's the thing, it doesn't close a deal by itself, and it doesn't replace the salesperson who builds trust with a customer. Instead, it helps the salesperson begin with a clearer list. Picture a crowded sales inbox on Monday morning where, without help, a rep might spend hours opening messages, searching for company details, and drafting similar first replies. The agent can prepare that early work so the rep can focus on the leads that look most ready for a real conversation. Now, a person still decides what good sales contact looks like. They review the email before it goes out, add their own knowledge, and decide whether a lead deserves a call, while the agent handles the repeat research and drafting around the edges. Small and medium-sized businesses often face a related job after a customer decides to buy. An order arrives through email or another channel, and someone needs to enter it, check the details, capture the customer's preferences, and send confirmation. That work can take time, especially when orders arrive in different formats. The sales order agent in Dynamics 365 Business Central handles the order intake process from entry all the way through confirmation. This agent can interact with customers while gathering the information needed for an order, so the team doesn't need to copy every detail by hand before moving the order forward. Now, finance has its own pile of repeat work. Before a financial period closes, teams need to prepare and clean data sets where numbers sit in different records, formatting needs attention, and people spend long stretches finding information that doesn't match. The financial reconciliation agent for Microsoft 365 Copilot for Finance helps prepare and cleanse datasets for that period close work. Think of it as sorting paperwork before the accountant begins the serious review. It doesn't decide whether the company's financial reports are correct. Finance professionals still own that responsibility. There's another agent inside Dynamics 365 Finance, the account reconciliation agent. It helps match and clear transactions between subledgers and the general ledger. Those terms sound technical, so let's keep this simple. A subledger holds detailed records for one area, like customer payments or supplier bills, while the general ledger holds the larger financial record for the business. Accountants need those records to agree, and when they don't, someone needs to find the gap. The agent helps with the matching and clearing work, so accountants can spend more of their time investigating records that don't fit rather than checking every obvious match one by one. Supply chain teams have another kind of follow-up problem. A business sends a purchase order to a supplier, but the team still needs confirmation that the supplier can deliver it when expected. If nobody follows up, a delay can sit unnoticed until it becomes a customer problem. The supplier communications agent for Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management handles collaboration with suppliers to confirm order delivery. It can handle work connected to confirming purchase orders and help spot possible delays earlier. That way, procurement specialists can spend more time on the supplier relationships and delivery problems that need a human conversation. Field service adds movement to the picture. A dispatcher may plan a technician's day carefully, but then traffic slows someone down, a customer cancels, or two bookings collide. The schedule that looked fine at 8 o'clock may create gaps and conflicts by lunchtime. The scheduling operations agent for Dynamics 365 Field Service helps dispatchers adjust schedules as those conditions change. It helps them work toward better schedules for technicians when the day refuses to follow the original plan. Dispatchers still decide what makes sense for their customers and their staff, especially when a change involves priority work or a difficult customer promise. So, these agents work at different desks, but their jobs follow the same shape. The sales qualification agent works with leads, the reconciliation agents work with financial records, the supplier agent works with purchase orders, and the scheduling agent works with technician appointments. Each one focuses on a defined business task, uses the data connected to that task, takes only the actions it has permission to take, and leaves a record of the work for the people who follow. More action can save time, but it also raises a fair question. Who decides what an agent can read, change, and send? control, trust, and the human team. Here's a myth I want to clear up right away. Don't ask whether an agent can act. Ask who decided what it can do. Every action comes from choices the organization made before it ever touched a customer record, an order, or a financial transaction. People remain responsible. Your company chooses the job, sets the rules, and decides the data the agent can see, the actions it can take, and the moments where a human must approve the next step. An agent may handle the routine path, but it doesn't carry the responsibility for a bad customer promise, an incorrect payment, or a sensitive decision. Let's bring back the reception desk analogy. Think of Entra ID, Microsoft's identity service, as the reception desk for the digital workplace. When an employee signs in, Entra ID helps confirm who that person is and what rooms they may enter. The same idea controls the agent O. It should only reach the records and tools needed for its assigned job, not wander through every part of the business. That keeps the job narrow. Before an agent starts work, the organization needs clear guardrails. What may it read? What may it update? Can it prepare an email or can it send one? Can it suggest a case should close, or does a service rep need to approve that closure? Those decisions are what turn a broad AI idea into a controlled business process. A sensible first project usually involves repeatable work where a mistake has a clear way back. Maybe the agent drafts follow-up messages for review, sorts incoming requests, or fills in routine case details. The team can check the results, correct errors, and improve the setup before allowing more independent action. Start small, but that doesn't mean ignoring the risks. An agent can misunderstand a request, use poor information, or produce an answer that doesn't fit the customer's situation. If it reaches data it shouldn't see, the problem grows quickly. Some industries also face strict rules about privacy, record keeping, and how decisions are checked. So the work continues after setup, and teams need to review what the agent did, read feedback from employees and customers, and inspect the records it touched. If it repeatedly misses context, the organization can adjust its instructions, improve its approved knowledge, change permissions, or add a human approval point. The agent needs supervision just like any process that affects customers or money. This changes the human job, but it doesn't remove it. Instead of copying details between records or chasing routine updates, people can focus on the exceptions, the unclear cases, and the decisions that need experience and accountability. Someone still owns the outcome, and that's the simple rule to remember. An agent can carry out a defined piece of work, but people decide the boundaries and remain answerable for what happens inside them. Conclusion: one job, clear rules, human oversight. So here's the bottom line. Dynamics 365 autonomous agents handle one specific job using context already in your work, but you set the rules, you approve the actions, and you own the outcome. That's the whole point. Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform for more plain English knowledge nuggets, and share this with someone who hears AI agents and still pictures a chatbot answering questions.